Broadcasting from Cedarville University, this is the Mystery Channel.
Rural southwestern Ohio. To the average conservation biologist, the region doesn't seem to hold much significance. The wildlife here consists of a variety of species that any visitor might expect. White-tailed deer, coyotes, raccoons, the common gray squirrel. But there is one indigenous species that holds the center of attention to many native Ohioans. You may never have even heard of it. In fact, no one has outside of the local population, that is. Snipus americana, more fondly known as the Ohioan snipe, was put on the endangered species list in 1967, and only 3 years later, determined to be extinct. But to many locals in the southwestern Ohio region, the species is quite alive. A recent resurgence in sightings have redoubled the efforts of some conservation biologists to examine the region more closely in the hopes of preventing extinction of the small bird, if indeed these reports are accurate. Hugh Mogus, born and raised in rural southwestern Ohio, is one such biologist.
Snipus americana is quite the unusual species of snipe. Its unconventional scavenging patterns, nocturnal tendencies, and preferred burrow nests all contribute to the rarity of sightings. Because of those factors, it's plausible that the species could have survived past 1970, unbeknownst to most conservation biologists. The original cause for the population decline of the Ohioan snipe was actually poaching, which is kind of impressive considering how hard it is to find a community of snipes. Their burrows are nearly impossible to spot.
To gain more insight into recent events, we decided to interview a few of the locals who have reported encounters with snipes.
About 1 a.m, just darkness clouded the sky. And I was binge watching this TV show and just really enjoying my time when I looked out my window, and out of the corner of my eye, there was a snipe right over there, just glistening in the pale blue moonlight, about the size of a football. I was kickable as one too, just wanted to go NFL football style and just field goal that sucker. That's all that was on my mind. Just picturing that bird flying.
Grayson Husband, serving a 3-year sentence for his crimes as a poacher, is one of a dwindling population of locals who claims to have ever successfully hunted snipe.
Hunting one of those birds isn't as hard as they make it out to be. Once you know the right way to do it, my father taught me whenever I was 9, and his father taught him. Someday, when I have a son, I hope to pass that art to him as well. The first thing you have to do is make sure you have a hunting buddy, a big boy, who has a very large and durable bag. He will be known as the catcher. This is very important for later on. The only time you can hunt is at night, during the full moon. So once you schedule your excursion and you find the right spot, you each need to find a nice sturdy stick. The catcher will wait with his bag, while you find a tree to stand next to, some distance away from him. When you're ready, start banging the stick against a tree, shouting loudly. Now, I don't know why this works, but it does, trust me. Once you start, the snipes will naturally start crawling out their burrows, or wherever they may be scavenging, and head straight towards the catcher. As they come to him, he uses his stick to gently push him into the bag that's close to the ground. And trust me, they'll just keep coming in and it'll keep raking them in, like leaves. Now you got yourself some fresh snipe, ready to be prepared for an authentic Ohioan breakfast. It tastes like the best steak you've ever had.
I'm your host, Shank Adkins, and thanks for watching the Mystery Channel.